All right, we got a little break in the weather right now. There's no rain coming down at the moment, but it won't take long and it'll start again. These trees have all been transitioning out of the greenhouse now for about a week, and they're doing great. This is the next batch of stuff that's going to go out into the yard and get set up on drip lines. Not everything, maybe not everything will fruit this year. You can see they're all still relatively small. Some of these are 3-year-old trees, some of them are 2-year-old trees. A couple of these probably need to be up potted, but to be honest, I don't want to do too awful much yet, and just let them be probably for another year. And some of these will get protected over the winter in the greenhouse, just because I don't know how winter hardy they're going to be. So some of them are a little bit more tender, I think. But went through and weed-eated around some of the bigger trees in the ground. It was much needed. We had some pretty massive grass growth, as we always do here in the valley. But here are my pineapple guavas, and I've got 6 of them in the ground. This one's fruited, or not fruited, but flowered for me the last 2 years. This is a Coolidge. They just take a while to get big enough, I think, to fruit. I know at the Arboretum up in Oregon City, they get fruit on their pineapple guavas. So I have faith it'll happen. It just takes time. So anyway, these 2 back here are Coolidge. That one was in the front of my property, but it wasn't getting any water in the summertime at all, and it was really struggling. So I moved it over the winter and put it out here, and it's doing a lot better. It's starting to bud out and come back, so that's really great. I've heard they're not real tolerant of their roots being messed with, so I'm glad that it came back and is actually alive. All right, so this one is called Mammoth. It's got substantially larger leaves, I think, than the Coolidge. It's kind of a spindly grower. I got these as seedling plugs from Fruitwood Nursery, and it grows well. I've only lost 1 seedling plug that I bought, and they were like $5 a piece. So I mean, I'm not, really not out anything. And it was another improved Coolidge to add to the other 2 that I have, but I'm not worried about it. So I'm glad that one's doing well. This one's called Albert's Joy, and you can see, they're not real big. I have to be careful when I mow back here because they tend to grow sideways. You really have to, I think, train them to grow up. So Albert's Joy. This one is just an unknown seedling that I have. I bought it at the same time I bought the Coolidge varieties. This one, who knows if and when it'll flower and or fruit. I really don't know. But it's a nice, healthy, tall-ish pineapple guava. And then this one is called Precocious, and this was another seedling plug from Fruitwood Nursery. So this is the smallest of the 3 that I have left, but it's putting out some decent growth now, and like I said, I think they're going to do fine. But yeah, the figs look really good. I'm getting ready to pull the rest of whatever I've got left out in the greenhouse and get it outside so it can get rained on. Here's my really pathetic little sad Marseille Black VS. Put it in the ground when it was too small, and it just kept dying back. It's been in the ground now for 2 years, I think. This will be its 3rd year in the ground, and it just dies back every year, and I can't get it to get very tall. So I'm trying. Who knows? Here's another Mount type. This is a Saskatoon service berry. These do really well for me, and you can see it's pretty productive. I kind of like these. They're different, you know. But what is that? Huh? Check that out. That's weird. Looks like it's got a gall or something on it. Huh. There's another one in there like that. Huh. Never seen that before. It's kind of weird. Anyway. But it's really productive for the size tree, for the size bush it is. And I kind of like them. They taste kind of like almond extract crossed with a blueberry, but they're bigger. So kind of a cool one. This is a black lace elderberry that I've been putting in the ground. I've got 2 of them. I've also got a York elderberry that it tends to struggle a little bit, and I don't know what that's about, but anyway, stuff is looking really good. I ripped out one of my in-ground trees and replaced it with something else. That's what that pile of wood is. Trying to mitigate some of the grass growth around the trees so it's easier to manage. So I covered the root ball with cardboard, and then I had all this wood stacked up from the trees that came down during the ice storm. So for right now, I'm just using the cut up wood, but I'll probably end up replacing it with like bark dust or something. In retrospect, I wish I wouldn't have done the river rock around the trees because it just made mowing harder. You know, one of those dumb rookie mistakes. Let's see. There's my Violet de Bordeaux. It's doing really well. This one, by the way, is Sao Joao Preto, which may be the same as Lampira Preta. I've got both. I don't know. Neither one of them have ever fruited for me. And, you know, I'm hoping that putting it in the ground will kickstart it a little bit. And if not, I'll rip it out and toss it. That's kind of where I'm at with some of these. This one last year was really productive. This is a Santa Cruz white, but I'm not seeing many Brava buds on it this year. But it fruited both crops for me last year, despite it being small. Let's see, there's one of my grapes. This was a Floria. This is a no-brainer for in the ground in the Willamette Valley. It should have no problem anywhere in the valley. So that one's good. These are Thimbleberries that I've got in a 20-gallon pot. And it's gonna fruit this year for the first time. So that's pretty cool. It's 2 years old. I always love these things. I know they're native, but I like native berries and plants and stuff. So, and then this one back here, this is Teramo or Teramo, unknown. This is another no-brainer for in the ground for us in the valley. Really, I think is a very good fig. Very underrated. So, same thing with Floria. I think Floria is massively underrated. And then here's my other 2 elderberries. So, Black Lace is really pretty. And then this one is called York. This is a black elderberry. The problem with York is it fruits and ripens like mid-August. And so it's so hot when it ripens that all the berries dry up. And it's not like our native elderberries, the blue elderberries here, that ripen, you know, later into the fall. And you can go forage them, you know, I've found them as late as mid-November, and they're still, you know, perfectly viable by that point. This tends to ripen really fast and then they drop, or the birds get them maybe. But yeah, but it's a good productive variety. I don't know. I've got one more elderberry that I've rooted this year, so we'll see what they do. I like the black lace ones though because they're more decorative. They do fruit, but not super reliably, and it may be just because they flower so early. I'm not sure. Anyway, that's where we're at, and yeah, everything's looking really good. So catch you on the next one.